For decades, the US dollar has dominated world trade. It is used for the majority of international trade, especially in strategic sectors such as oil. This preeminence gives the United States a major influence on the world economy, in particular through the use of economic sanctions. These sanctions, targeting countries such as Venezuela, Iran, or Russia, cut them off from the global financial system by preventing them from using the dollar. In response, more and more nations are seeking to reduce their dependence on the dollar, a process called de-dollarization. The BRICS play a key role in helping the countries affected by these sanctions to find alternatives to trade outside the dollar-dominated system. They encourage the use of local or digital currencies in international exchanges, thus weakening the central role of the dollar. The BRICS and their growing role in the global economy. The BRICS was formed to promote economic cooperation between its members, while reducing their dependence on Western-dominated financial institutions, such as the IMF and the World Bank. One of the main objectives of the BRICS is to promote economic exchanges by using their own currencies rather than the US dollar. The BRICS have set up bilateral trade agreements such as those between China and Russia, allowing oil and gas to be exchanged in yuan or ruble rather than dollars. In addition, the new development bank, created in 2014, aims to finance infrastructure projects in member countries using their local currencies, thus bypassing the traditional international financial system based on the dollar. The rise of the BRICS calls into question the dominance of the dollar. If more countries follow their example by using local or alternative currencies, this could weaken the position of the United States in the global economy. By welcoming new members such as Venezuela, the BRICS are strengthening their ability to offer an alternative to the American financial system, thus attracting other developing countries seeking to escape sanctions. Venezuela, victim of US sanctions. Since 2019, the United States has intensified its sanctions against Venezuela, mainly targeting its oil industry, which accounts for more than 90% of the country's exports. These sanctions, which target the national oil company PDVSA, block Venezuela's access to international financial markets and make it almost impossible to use the dollar for its commercial transactions. This has had devastating effects on the Venezuelan economy, which is already struggling due to falling oil prices and years of economic mismanagement. Before the sanctions, Venezuela exported mainly crude oil to countries such as the United States, but also to Europe and Asia in exchange for US dollars. However, with the ban on trading with PDVSA, the country's oil revenues have fallen drastically, plunging the country into a serious economic crisis. This has led to hyperinflation, food shortages, and political instability. In 2020, Venezuela's oil production fell to its lowest level in decades. Faced with these paralyzing sanctions, Venezuela has sought to get closer to the BRICS to find a solution. The country wishes to join the group in order to diversify its trading partners and use alternative mechanisms to the dollar. In particular, PDVSA has begun to explore the use of digital currencies to circumvent US restrictions. Venezuelan oil minister Pedro Telechea said that the country is considering contracts that specify payments in digital currencies, which marks an important turning point for the country's oil trade. Venezuela has officially submitted its candidacy to join the BRICS, hoping to strengthen its economic cooperation with countries such as China and Russia, which are already important trading partners. This accession could offer Venezuela an opportunity to circumvent US sanctions by diversifying its financing channels. Venezuela hopes that joining the BRICS will allow it not only to diversify its economic partners, but also to take advantage of the infrastructure set up by this group to promote trade without using the US dollar. If Venezuela manages to join the BRICS, it will be able to exchange its energy resources, in particular oil, with member countries using currencies such as the yuan, the ruble, or other local currencies. In addition to circumventing US sanctions, this accession would strengthen Venezuela's position on the international scene as a key player within an influential economic alliance. It would also allow the country to benefit from BRICS financial initiatives, such as the new development bank, which offers financing for infrastructure projects in currencies other than the dollar. The US sanctions have not only affected Venezuela's foreign trade, but also the daily life of its citizens. With the fall in oil revenues, the government is finding it increasingly difficult to finance public services, which has led to shortages of food, medicine, and other essential goods. In addition, Hyperinflation has destroyed household economies, making basic products inaccessible for a large part of the population. By looking for economic alternatives, Venezuela hopes not only to recover its economy, but also to relieve the pressure on its population. By joining the BRICS, the country could benefit from new capital flows, a resumption of its oil exports and greater economic stability. The Kazan Summit and its stakes. The 16th BRICS Summit, to be held in October in Kazan, represents a strategic turning point for the future of the group and for Venezuela's candidacy. This summit is crucial because it marks a decisive moment where the members of the group will discuss expansion opportunities and criteria for integrating new members. This meeting is particularly important for Venezuela, which hopes to obtain an official invitation to join the BRICS. One of the main challenges of this summit is the ability of the BRICS to strengthen their influence in the global financial system. If Venezuela is admitted, it could not only expand the group, but also solidify its role as a viable alternative to the financial system dominated by the US dollar. By welcoming new members such as Venezuela, the BRICS could increase their economic and political clout, making the group more attractive to other developing nations looking to diversify their trading and financial partners. The Kazan Summit is also an opportunity for the BRICS members to demonstrate their cohesion and their ability to respond to global challenges in a united way. In discussing the expansion, members will have to evaluate not only the economic benefits of Venezuela's integration, but also the geopolitical implications. The group will have to find a balance between expanding its influence and managing the divergent interests of its current members. In addition, the integration of Venezuela could strengthen cooperation between the BRICS members in large-scale projects, such as those financed by the New Development Bank, thus offering the country an opportunity to stabilize its economy and improve its living conditions. In short, the Kazan Summit is not limited to a simple assessment of Venezuela's candidacy. It is also a test for the ability of the BRICS to evolve as an influential global entity and to respond to the economic and political challenges of the 21st century. The decision taken in Kazan will have profound implications not only for Venezuela, but also for the future direction of the BRICS group and its role on the world stage. Conclusion. In conclusion, Venezuela's quest to join the BRICS illustrates a strategic response to the economic challenges imposed by US sanctions. By seeking to diversify its business partnerships and adopt alternative financial mechanisms, Venezuela hopes not only to circumvent the severe restrictions that are paralyzing its economy, but also to strengthen its position on the international stage. The 16th BRICS Summit in Kazan will be decisive for Venezuela's economic future, and a possible accession could not only offer the country an opportunity to stabilize its economy, but also accentuate the role of the BRICS as a key player in the redefinition of the global financial system. If Venezuela succeeds in integrating this group, it could mark a turning point in the global economic dynamics, further weakening the dominance of the US dollar and promoting a new era of multilateral economic cooperation.